night. Bit disappointed, but hey, it's hunting, isn't it? So, we're out on a very cold morning. It's a few days later. The weather had turned, it got wet, it got windy, now it's got cold. So, I've not started too early this morning. There's just no point when it's freezing cold like this. The deer wait for the sun to come up, the temperature to rise, then they start to move. So, fingers crossed we can get back in that valley and get lucky. So, here we go. Oh, well, it's still freezing cold, but we've seen a deer and it's just come out of the trees a little bit down the valley, so I'm just going to tramp on, try and get set up. I've seen a couple of deer, but they've always just moved in and out of the trees really quick, so fingers crossed we'll go and get on it. Hope so. There's a nice looking deer. Let's see if we can put a shot in it. Well, standing okay. Just like to bring its head round just a little bit. That's better. I think, judging by the pop echo of that, we got it. Managed to run up into the trees a little bit. Okay, I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit nervous about this one. So I've come to the strike site, and what we've got is well, it's darker blood, there's a little bit of fur. There's not a huge amount of blood. There's a little bit of blood run back where the deer rolled down before it got back up, got composure. So there is a decent bit of bleed. But if I'm being honest, I am quite nervous about this one. The dog's indicating she thinks there's something just in the trees. But I'm not 100% confident about just rushing in to go and get something. I would have thought the shot would have broken the cavity. But judging by that blood, there's not a lot of bright stuff about, so it's not a confidence booster. But we've given it enough time, so if the deer's well hit, if it's breached the cavity, we're laughing, we've got a dead deer. But I'll take my time on this one and we'll have a little wandering. So I'll let my dog do her thing. Cass? So that's where it ran into the trees. And she's gone in quite confident, so I'll have a little wandering behind her. The sort of thing we've got to be cautious of when we're going into trees is quite often you've got holes and lots of old brash. And then, oh goodness me, this is hands and knees stuff here. But so if you're going into the trees and you've got a rifle, be super careful about muzzle awareness. There's, oh, she's rolling about, there's a deer. Oh. This is hands and knees stuff, this, but oh, let's have a look, see. That's definitely a dead deer without having to touch it. Oh, so a little bit of drama, but it was all good in the end. Didn't go very far at all, maybe 15-20 meters. Let's have a look, see it. Yeah, it's gone in low. It's knocked both the legs out quite low down. So we can see here it's a lot lower and a little bit forward of what I wanted. But that's broke the cavity, no problem. Front of the heart probably, but not enough to actually catch the heart and create a lot of blood. But that's where your doggy comes in really handy. They're going to find it all day long. Stuff that we'd struggle to find, but we were lucky there. Yeah, I was lucky, I was worried. When a deer sort of gets knocked off its feet and then gets back up, and then it just takes off into the trees, you've always got to be a bit careful about those. So always have your rifle if you need it, but it's lucky with the dog. When she does that little thing, that's her little indication she's found a deer. Looks a bit funny, but she's telling me she knows there's a deer just nearby, she can smell it, so. Oh, let's get this out of the trees, get it gralked in the bag and away. Okay, so we've got our deer out of the trees and all is good. I'm ready to growler this deer, get it packed up and out of here. But in the previous video you might have seen with the speed growler, I got a hard time in an internet forum because people don't actually understand how to growler deer. Now they were giving me a hard time because I left the back end in and I hadn't tied the esophagus off. Now in short, you don't need to tie the esophagus off. If the deer's only been dead a short while and there's no evidence of any pressure backing up the esophagus, it's nice and clean and it's flat, just pinch it, pull it through, you're not going to get any green leakage. And with the back end, your priority is to make sure that no pellets fall back into the cavity. And that's easily done by working the pellets away from the area where you separate the rectum. Not a big deal, simple to do. So, in terms of getting your deer out of the forestry, you want minimal cuts. Don't open up your deer and split the pelvis, take the head and the feet off unless you have to. Do it in a clean environment, okay? This is going to be food, so always work on it in the best clean environment you can. Don't turn it into burgers out on the hill. So, if you've liked what you saw, like, share and subscribe. Hope to see you again, folks. Cheers.